About a year ago, a company I co-founded called Clicks added a physical keyboard to the iPhone with a button-studded case that got a lot of attention.
We found this iPhone case with this keyboard. It's from a company called Clicks.
Tell me about this keyboard.
This is Clicks technology. People are proud about it. It is a keyboard that is sliding into your iPhone.
Dude.
People are freaking out just like you are about Clicks. They want their iPhone.
So far, we've shipped over 100,000 units across more than 100 countries, with models available for 10 different iPhones. It turns out reports of the phone keyboard's death greatly exaggerated. So we're bringing buttons back again, this time to Android. As one of the people involved, I can't give you an impartial review, but I can give you an exclusive first look at the early prototypes of a Clicks you probably expected, and another you definitely didn't. If you watch this channel often, you'll know that I'm predominantly an Android user. And the same thing I love about that platform, its diversity of devices, makes it daunting to build accessories for, since each version of Clicks has to be custom made for a specific device. And that process is time, labor, and cost intensive. That made it tough to choose which Android phone to start with. The obvious choice would be to target the market leader, and yes, we will support Samsung's Galaxy S25. But the loudest feedback I've gotten from all of you is that you want Clicks for the Pixel. So that's where we're starting, with Google Pixel 9 and 9 Pro. This Clicks looks familiar if you've seen the iPhone version. The phone slides in and plugs into the USB port, so there's no battery to charge or Bluetooth to pair. But this isn't a first-generation Clicks. It's based on the model we built for the iPhone 16, which means it gets all the same upgrades. Brushed metal side keys, an enclosure made of TPU, so it's more rigid on the outside, soft flocking to protect the phone on the inside, and the larger sculpted buttons that are easier to navigate by feel with the same satisfying click. Embedded within the backplate sits a treat for those who, like me, wish more manufacturers would get aboard the Qi 2 train, a magnetic array so the Pixel can stick to MagSafe chargers and magnetic accessories can stick to it. By the way, the Clicks I'm showing in this video are pre-production with a capital P. They're handmade evaluation samples built for testing, so the backlights are uneven, the enclosure colors and shapes aren't quite dialed in, the backplates will have accent colors that match or complement the buttons, and the keyboard layout is changing too. I'll get into that in a second. I talked about the challenges of building for Android, but one of the great things about it is that, just like iOS, Android never lost the plumbing that makes physical keyboards work. In fact, Google has added features to Gboard over the years to make typing easier. You get this great toolbar that gives you the same autocomplete suggestions you'd get from a virtual keyboard, and it also holds any text you've recently copied to the clipboard, which, yes, you can do with Control-C and paste with Control-V. If you hop into the hamburger menu, you get access to that clipboard, as well as emoji, translation, and a cheat sheet for all the shortcuts baked into Android. Hold down Search and press Y, and YouTube launches. Hit U for the calculator. Hit B for the browser, where pressing the spacebar scrolls page by page. Search N drops the notification shade, and there's a Gemini key that doubles as a toggle for the button backlight. Just like on a desktop, Alt-Tab lets you page through your recent apps. Note that the Clicks key for now is the Tab button, but just like we did on the iPhone, we're working to expand these shortcuts with new tools as they become available. In fact, as I was writing this video, Google announced that it's adding even more keyboard customizability to Android 16. And finally, for split-screen multitaskers, bid farewell to the virtual keyboard messing up your layout. With Pixel and Galaxy alone, the future of Clicks on Android is very bright. But I wanted to have more fun than that. And I wanted to address one of the concerns some people have with Clicks, its height. So when one of our earliest customers showed up in my replies with photos of a Clicks they'd cut in half to accommodate a flip phone, I had a Jeffrey Tennant moment.
That's ridiculous. I'll do that.
Okay, well, great.
truth is, we'd already been experimenting with versions of this internally in our Clicks Labs division. The same skunk works that discovered a Nothing Phone 1 crammed into a Clicks would actually work. But learning that customers were also excited about a Razr Flip kicked us into high gear. Up in Winnipeg, Clicks co-founder Crackberry Kevin visited his big brother's workshop to help him modify a Pro Max model for testing, while I took advantage of a visit to my ancestral Eastern Long Island homeland to enlist my dad's help with the same. And I was instantly smitten. It took me less than a day with the so-called Clicks Flip to push the rest of the Clicks leadership to bring it to life. Not as a concept or a one-off, but as a real product that we could actually offer to customers. And to my team's immense credit, they agreed. This is Clicks for the Motorola Razr Plus 2024, and I am obsessed. Since 2019, the beauty of Motorola's foldable has been its big cover screen, which lets you use almost every feature of the phone without even opening it. This is mainly why we focused on Razr for this generation instead of the globally more popular Samsung Galaxy Flip. Just a better experience for what we were trying to build. And the only time that cover screen experience really breaks down is when you need to type, and the virtual keyboard obscures almost everything. Clicks for Razr solves this problem, while the Razr's small size addresses the Clicks height issue.
Synergy.
The result is this compact little powerhouse that recalls the golden age of keyboard phones. With the new contoured keyboard, it's perfect for messaging marathons. I mean, there's a reason the BlackBerry, and later the BeepBerry, were shaped like this. Most of the shortcuts I showed off on the Pixel also work on the cover screen, and the Enter key doubles as a shutter for easy main camera selfies. You can even make calls while closed, on speakerphone or headset, and for those times you really need a full screen, of course, you can open it up. But like I've said in most of my Razr reviews, you'd be surprised how little you actually need to. And as a bonus, that smaller screen draws less power, so your battery lasts longer. Let me be straight with you. My friend and Clicks CMO Jeff Gadway and his marketing team have spent the past year driving home the message that Clicks is a powerful tool, that it's great for productivity, that it helps you get more things done. All of which is true, and it's backed up by the fact that Fortune 100 CEOs and heads of state have bought and used Clicks. That's wild to say. It's all very polished and beautiful and, for lack of a better word, adult. But I have never identified as an adult, so I gotta say, the thing that makes me most excited about Clicks for Razr is how much fun it is. An aspect that finds full expression when you use it for games. Assign any of those 37 buttons to the layout you like, and the combination of screen size, aspect ratio, and tactile feedback make this a delightful pocket console. Obligatory disclaimer, I've owned physical copies of all these games, and in fact have paid for them many times over. I mentioned in a recent video that I was talking to Eric Maciejowski back at CES, and my favorite takeaway from that conversation with the Pebble founder was his lamentation that few folks in tech were building fun toys anymore. Well, I'm delighted to play a small part in bucking that trend. Let me hit a couple loose ends before we get to pricing and availability. A mild bummer is that the Razr disables its wireless charging coil whenever an accessory is plugged into the USB port, which means you need to use a cable to top up if you use it with Clicks. On the bright side, while we've designed this for Razr Plus, the very similar dimensions of the cheaper Razr mean it fits too, and works almost exactly the same. The top half looks a little weird this way, but on both Razrs, you can always go topless. Sorry. Oh, and I said I'd come back to that keyboard. On Clicks for iPhone, we designed our layout to match the iOS virtual keyboard. And while that was the right call, I've always missed the numpad from my beloved vintage phones, which is a convenience that Gboard still offers. So for the production version of Clicks for Android, we're bringing it back, and rearranging some of the alternate characters to better match Gboard as well. Old Palm or BlackBerry fans should feel right at home. Okay, so how much and when? Well, Pixel, Razr, and Galaxy are all priced at $139 US. But we're doing something a little different this time, with pre-orders that let you lock in a lower price, $99, if you order any of them before March 21st. Pixel is a straight pre-order with deliveries targeted to begin by the end of April, while Razr and Galaxy are aimed for late May and June, respectively, with a reservation structure where you pay a $49 deposit now with the balance due when they're ready to ship. Break it up a little bit. You can do all that at the Clicks website in the description. Oh, and most importantly, colors. For Pixel, in addition to the understated onyx, my fellow Clicksters finally caved to my repeated requests for this high-voltage neon green and eggplant combo we're calling Surge. It's very maximalist. It's very me. But here's the thing. There's something called a minimum order quantity when you're dealing with suppliers, so if we don't sell enough of these, my CTO, Chen, will be inundated with unusable purple vegan leather, and my days of getting custom colors made might be over. All that's to say, if you want Surge, you know what to do.
Hey, mid-edit Mr. Mobile here. Just to make a clarification on colors, the Onyx colorway I've shown throughout this video is actually going to have black keys and backplate instead of gray. Personally, I've never been a fan of the murdered out look, but it's done so well for us on the iPhone that we decided that would be the best way to keep the most customers happy. And when you do order, just keep in mind that which color you choose will affect your delivery times, since we have to make these in batches. This is all spelled out on the website, but please read carefully so you have the right expectations for delivery timing. It's just one of the tough realities of the business. Color is hard.
Ditto for the electric blue color on Razr and the Pinot color on Galaxy, which is a nod to the bizarre but true fact that the entire Samsung smartphone family was named after a table wine. Hat tip to the excellent book Samsung Rising for that factoid.
And speaking of Samsung, you'll notice I didn't mention the Ultra. Our S25 version of Clicks won't be compatible with Samsung's largest, and that's because we have a different plan for big phones like that. That plan goes like this. We're going to build a...
Dang. Well, I'll be able to tell you soon. I'm sure you can tell I'm stoked, not just to be evolving Clicks, but to actually try to bring back some of the fun that's been draining from the phone world over the past few years. And I'm happy to say that a prediction I made last year has come true. Being involved with the process of creating a product has given me much more appreciation for how difficult and expensive and fraught with surprises that process is. A lot of folks only associate Clicks with me, but the truth is there are over 20 very smart people working together to make this company and product a reality. Every design change, every upgrade to the Clicks app, every shipment and purchase order and advertising campaign and customer success story, all of it involves many of those people working together across 6 countries and 8 time zones. The challenges are enormous, but the hard work is worth it. When maker Carter Hurd built his incredible brass iPhone case, he shopped all the alternatives and ultimately chose Clicks for the keyboard.
And this ended up being perfect. No, there's no iPhone mini version, but the integration with iOS and the shortcuts and the key feel was all way better than the other keyboards I tried.
I just love to hear that. We've got a lot more in store in the coming years, just like Mr. Mobile has a lot more reviews to do. If you've gotten this far, thanks for the support that makes all this possible, whether it's following along on YouTube or joining the improbably growing ranks of smartphone keyboard lovers in 2025. Disclosure, I'm a co-founder of Clicks, which means I have an obvious stake in its success, and as such, the preceding was not a review in the typical Mr. Mobile sense. That said, Clicks didn't see this video in advance of publication, and for whatever it's worth, I don't say what I don't mean. We'll be back to our regular programming next week. Please subscribe to the Mr. Mobile on YouTube if you'd like to see similarly sincere reviews, and you can follow me at Captain2Phones on all the socials to keep in touch between videos. Until next time, from Michael Fisher, thanks for watching, and stay mobile, my friends.